Welcome to this presentation on EU legislation influence on the textile sector and the principles of circular economy. In this presentation, it is described the evolution of EU legislation in recent years and how these legislations are related to the circular economy. The definition of circular economy will be scrutinized and it will be emphasized the importance of circular economy in textiles sector. European Union legislation. Influence on the textiles sector. Principles of circular economy. The contents of that presentation are, overview and status quo of the European Green Deal, circular economy, definition, importance and benefits, EU strategy for sustainable and circular textiles. Overview and status quo of European Green Deal. The European Green Deal is the EU's new trend in development, which focuses on transforming the European Union into a fair and growing community with an antagonistic economy. It is also an important part of the EU's vision to reach success in the Agenda of 2030 for sustainable development. Moreover, through Green Deal, the EU desires to offer citizens a safe and harmless environment without impacts, at the same time being fair and presenting available chances. The economic strategy should focus on well-being. The main target of the EGD is, by 2050, to achieve a free of carbon European Union and release economic increasement and resource use. The EGD does not act as a law in itself, but as a general policy strategy, underlining the desire and goals in different policy divisions. To bring into force the above plan, we'll have to proceed with a review of the standards that already exist and develop in the next few years the legal framework for new directives. There are 8 key points that make up the Green Deal. Increasing the EU's climate ambition for 2030 and 2050, supplying clean, affordable, secure energy, mobilizing industry for a clean and circular economy, building and renovating in an energy and resource-efficient way, a zero-pollution ambition for a toxic-free environment, preserving and restoring ecosystems and biodiversity, farm to fork, a fair, healthy and environmentally friendly food system, and last but not least accelerating the shift to sustainable and smart mobility. Circular economy. Definition, importance and benefits. The circular economy is an example of production and consumption, which enhance sharing, leasing, reusing, repairing, refurbishing, recycling existing materials and products as long as possible. Through this model, the lifespan of the materials is extended and at the same time, we reduce waste to a minimum. When the life of a product ends, its components can be used again thanks to recycling. In this way, the materials continue to have value. This is a way to differentiate ourselves from the classic linear economic model, which is based on a take, make, consume, throw away model. This model relies on huge quantities of low-cost, easily accessible materials and energy resources. Part of this plan is intentional obsolescence, where a product is designed to have a limited lifespan to incentivize consumers to buy it again. The European Parliament called for actions to counter this philosophy. Reusing and recycling products would help to reduce the use of natural resources, reduce the deterioration of the natural landscape and habitats, and help limit the lack of biodiversity. At the same time, the circular economy contributes to the reduction of the total annual greenhouse gas emissions. The need to find raw materials increases as the population of the Earth increases. However, the availability of necessary raw materials is limited. Finite supplies also mean that there is interdependence between EU countries regarding the supply of raw materials. Moving towards a more circular economy could help competitiveness, increase innovative ideas, improve economic growth and create new jobs as a result, 700,000 jobs in the EU alone by 2030. The development of materials and products for circular use would also boost innovation in various sectors of the economy. In March 2020, the European Commission published its Action Plan for the Development of the Circular Economy, which aims to launch a more sustainable product design, reduce waste and strengthen the purchasing public, giving as an example the choice of repair. It also emphasizes the significant strengthening of critical resources such as electronics and ICT, plastics, textiles and construction. In February 2021, Parliament voted positively for a new action plan on the circular economy, calling for additional measures to achieve a carbon-neutral, environmentally sustainable, zero-toxic circular economy by 2050. At the same time, it will include stricter recycling rules and an implementation plan for the 2030 material use and consumption targets. In March 2022, the Commission published the first set of measures to accelerate the transition. The solutions are based on strengthening sustainable products, encouraging the buying public to go green, revising existing legislation on products intended for building materials and the development of a strategic plan for more sustainable solutions in textile products as well. In November 2022, the Commission turned to new EU-wide rules on packaging. The purpose is to reduce waste related to packaging and the development of the design as far as packaging is concerned to a circular economy as part of the Circular Economy Action Plan. EU Strategy for Sustainable and Circular Textiles. Textile products exist as fabrics in our everyday life. The production and consumer demand is increasing and at the same time their impact on the environment. They affect water and energy consumption and have consequences for the environment. Considering that clothes make up the largest part of textile consumption in the EU, 81%, the shift to using clothes for shorter periods of time before discarding them promotes highly unsustainable patterns of overproduction and overconsumption. Such models, also referred to as fast fashion, encourage the buying public to continue to buy lower quality, lower cost clothing that is quickly produced in response to new trends. Although from 1996 to 2018 the cost of clothing in the EU fell by more than 30% relative to inflation, average household spending on clothing increased, showing that such unsustainable standards have not helped consumers fully benefit from cost-saving opportunities. These negative effects stem from a linear model characterized by low rates of use, reuse, repair, and fiber-to-fiber textile material recycling, and which typically does not place quality, durability, and recyclability as primary goals for clothing design and creation. The dispersal of microplastics from synthetic fabrics and shoes throughout their life cycle further adds to the environmental impact of the industry. With its focus on social and environmental sustainability, the EU wishes to support global value chains, thereby contributing to the Sustainable Development Goals worldwide. The textile and clothing sector is an important economic factor for the European Union and has the potential to play a dominant role in the circular economy. It consists of 160,000 companies employing 1.5 million people, with a turnover of €162 billion in 2019. COVID-19 has had a negative impact on the sector. In 2020, the scope of EU work contracted by 9.2% in textiles and by 18.1% in clothing compared to 2019. The textile sector in the EU following reduced demand needs to be strengthened. The disruption of value chains with price increases in the last 2 years have brought companies face to face with various challenges affecting both their day-to-day and short-term operations and survival there. The causes are turbulence from intense competition from around the world and future volatility. Consisting mainly of small and medium-sized enterprises, it needs to strengthen its power, mainly in terms of the supply of energy and raw materials, turn to new markets for more sustainable products. Looking for a talented and skilled workforce would also help. Europe has over the years been the source of innovative brands, creativity, know-how and quality textile products. These obstacles and opportunities need more systemic solutions in line with the need of the European Green Deal to make development sustainable, climate neutral, energy and resource efficient and without disrupting the environment, based exclusively on the circular economy. The Circular Economy Action Plan 2020 and the 2021 update of the EU Industrial Strategy identify textiles as primary elements in the product value chain with a critical need and strong potential for the transition to sustainable and circular production, consumption, and business models. Companies, the buying public, and public authorities in the EU are already focusing on increasing the sustainability and circularity of this field, but the transition is taking place at a slow pace, with the result that the environmental footprint of the sector remains high and we also have impacts on the climate. Taking advantage of the progress made, ensuring the green and digital transition, societal challenges, and ensuring compliance with sustainability needs, the EU has the potential to be a global innovator in sustainable and circular textile value chains, new technological solutions, and innovative business models. This strategy for sustainable and circular textiles aims to create a coherent framework and philosophy for change in the textile sector whereby, by 2030 textile products available on the EU market have a longer lifespan and are considered recyclable as they are largely created from recycled fibers, without hazardous substances. Their production is done with respect for human rights and the environment. The buying public gains through high-quality affordable textiles. Fast fashion becomes a reduced strain, and cost-effective reuse and repair services are widely available. In a competitive, strong, and innovative textile industry, creators are responsible for their products throughout their life in the value chain, even when they become waste. The circular textile ecosystem flourishes, thanks to the sufficient possibilities for innovative fiber-to-fiber recycling, while the incineration and landfilling of textiles are significantly reduced.